Imagine an adventure coming out of a book while you were reading. This might seem impossible, but not with 3D printing. So let's see how I sliced it. Alright guys, the first one is the fantasy book. So let's see the details that we have in here that must change our settings, okay? This is a highly detailed model, so I will reduce the layer height right away just because of the resolution. But I want to show you another detail, mostly in here, of this dragon, that also are going to be improved by the layer height reduction, okay? So let's show you. So let me show you. In this part over here, we can see the inside walls in the outside of the model. That's not good. That seems like we have overhang issues, and also we are gonna have a bad finishing here because the layers are not gonna sustain it by each other. So for avoid this, let's reduce the layer height. Now I changed the layer height for 0.12 in my standard profile. We are gonna see the changes in the other settings, but now we have less of the internal walls showing up. In some regions in here, we still have, but now is better for the overhang of this dragon here. This model is incredibly support free. Look at this. We have some extremely overhangs in here, but we can do this without supports. In my opinion, this is the most sensitive region. Most of the trouble will be here, but now we can do this in this layer height. Let's see. We have the sword, but this starts from the cape, which is really cool. Look at this. We have the beginning of the sword right on the cape, and then everything is gonna be fine, okay? The back side, we don't have so much overhangs. It's just a 45 degrees in here. I think we will be good in this piece. So let's take a look at the print settings. I put 0.12 in here. My pattern is 3 perimeters of wall. I keep this always. And I put some extra top and bottom layers in my standard profile for 0.12 because I only use these settings in extremely detailed models, decorative models. So if I put more top layers and bottom layers, it's going to be more close in the holes, in the finish of the model. So I can ensure the vertical shell of the layers with those settings, okay? We can take a look at the seam as well, but I will put a line and then we painting manually, okay? In the infill, 5%, gyroid, nothing special in here. Skirt and brim, as you prefer. There's nothing in here that can change anything in your model. And the speed, I am using my Ender 3 V3 as a example in here, 45 millimeters per second, because it's a highly detailed model, so I don't want any vibrations. So I will put a standard speed in here. The first layer is good, and also the extrusion width. So everything here is a pattern for my standard. Now let's take a look at the pages, for example, that it's a smooth area. So I want to avoid the seams on it. So we could hidden well in the backside. So worked our seam painting, and also the software choose some good regions in here in the wings of the dragon. So in here and also here. We have the sword. It's almost unavoidable. Look at this. We have the seam in here. I would prefer in the backside, but I don't think it's so much trouble because this is a sharpened corner as well. So I think it's going to work in this case. Now looking at the horror sculpture, look at this, so creepy. I think we don't need to paint in the seam. Let's just put the here option in here, and I think the software is going to do a good work for us. Let's see. So guys, actually I didn't like so much the choice of the software because we could do it right here, for example. I didn't understand why it did it in here. So let's actually painting the same in the middle section in here. Let's put it like this because I think it's going to be right on the middle of the gate. Let's see. That's what I want. Let's see if it worked. I was actually painting the supports Let's put the sim painting now for real. Tell me in the comments how much of you actually saw I painted with the supports. Now worked as I wanted. So let's see in the front if we have some problems. No, any sim is going to show just in the back of the model. So I prefer in this way. Let's take a look in the next one. How beautiful is the romance, right? So let's select in here. Let's keep selected there here, because in some parts, for example, in the characters, the sim is going to be hidden in here between the actual lady and the gentleman and this part over here. So let's just painting in the back side of the pages for not sim showing up in here. So I will selected the sim painting, and now I will put in this corner in here like this. My hands are shaking, but that's fine. You guys are going to paint this better than I did. Okay, and I think I'm gonna put this corner in here of the page. Okay, and also I want this sim in here for this part, and then following the arc. Nice. I think it's going to be good. Let's slice it. Okay, guys, now the last one is finished. I think this is a good, because right in the front we cannot see the seams, but if we turn the model, we start to see them in the back side. Okay, in the arc worked my painting. In this region over here, I recommend you to be more careful than I was, because my shaking hands was making me have trouble. In here worked, so just be careful when you are actually painting. You can reduce the brush size as well, because you don't want to go over on these regions with the painting, so the seam is going to be pretty visible. Okay, so just be careful. If you want to, all those sculptures has its own base. In those parts, I don't recommend so much details. For example, take so much time printing. You can actually paint only the sculpture, but if you want a stand, a basis, you can print this. But I will recommend something like a standard profile 0.2, because this is not going to be the focus of the print. People are going to see the sculpture, the tail coming out of the pages. The base is not important, so don't take so much time on this. I hope you guys enjoy it. Those slicing videos are an initiative from STL Academy, which is the educational project from Estelflix. So if you guys want to learn more about 3D printing, you could check our description and look at STL Academy courses. And don't forget, see you guys at the next slicing.